Well, good morning. Welcome to the Sunday morning live stream at Mississippi Family Homestead. We're outside today next to the raised bed that we worked on. We're going to talk a little bit about raised beds this morning, and also we're going to do another transplant. My sister wants a, I don't think you can see it, but she wants a tomato, and the pot may be a touch small, but she can transplant it later if she has to, but we're going to plant a cherry tomato for her.
And we'll send it down there this week.
Yeah,
so your
that's
mom
going
is,
to
your mom
Covington, Louisiana, around New Orleans.
Yeah, that's very interesting. Good morning, Joe.
Joe, how you doing this morning? We got a lot done yesterday, and I'm sore.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's a perfect weather to be working outside. So let's see. And it feels really nice out here right now.
I think it was 60 degrees, almost 60. Surely it's 60 by now. So it was 60 degrees this morning. I told him I'm a little chilly, but not bad. Of course, he has on shorts. He doesn't get as chilly as I do. But as the sun comes up, which you can see in the background, it is coming up. It's a beautiful day. There's a few clouds, but not rain clouds. It's just some little fluffy clouds floating around. Beautiful blue sky, just gorgeous, gorgeous today. So, we'll go to church. He'll probably come work in the garden bed some more. We did have an issue with ants in the garden bed. So whenever he was putting the dirt, I guess he brought an ant bed and put it in the raised garden bed whenever you were filling it up. So we did have ants in there yesterday. So in one of them, we didn't get to do it because we were trying to get rid of the ants. So we kind of put the diatomaceous earth in there to try to get rid of them. I don't know if it's worked or not yet, so we'll have to look in there and see what we can do about that. But you don't want ants in your raised garden bed.
This little one was fine, but the other one just...
Yeah, it had a...
So we didn't get the topsoil in on it.
No, we didn't. But we did get the little one done. And, I kind of like the little one better, don't you think?
Yeah, I do.
The little one, it just seems like it's a little bit easier to work in. It's 2 feet tall, and the other one is 3 feet tall, which, we've said before, I'm short. It's going to be, I can reach it, but it just seems easier to work in the 2 foot one than it does the 3 foot one. So, if anybody's getting a raised garden bed, I'd recommend doing it 2 feet and not 3 feet.
Yeah.
Unless you're having some trees or something put in a garden bed. I don't know, but I wouldn't do a 3 foot one. So we enjoyed ourselves yesterday. We got tomatoes planted, and I planted some parsley. And what else did I plant in there? Basil and oregano in the raised garden bed, and it'll go good with the tomatoes.
Check your chat.
Yeah, so Joe said he had a full day yesterday. He went and picked up his cedar planks and
the ones from the Amish.
Yes. Turned the big pile in the garden, planted peas, spinach, green onions, and lettuce in the raised bed.
Cool.
So we decided to go ahead and get some lettuce that, not from seed, but we went down to our little local store and they happened to have some, so we did get some lettuce.
You got all of them for like $6.
Yeah, all of them, because they were kind of wilted and didn't look real good, but he gave me a whole bunch of them for $6.
And I think they're going to come back. We're going to, if they don't, that's fine, but...
Yeah, we'll do something.
And you planted some seed too.
And Joe still did other things. He's played with the grandkids, cooked out, did campfire with the grandkids,
cool.
And roasted marshmallows. Now, that's my thing. I love roasted marshmallows.
Yeah.
So
I'm a little sore today.
Yeah. So, Joe, I'm sure you are too. I'm gonna go read the not the devotion, but the scripture for today. Since it is Sunday, we like to read a scripture on Sunday. So the scripture is 2 Timothy 4:8, and it is in the New King James Version. Finally, there is laid up for me the crown of righteousness, which the Lord, the righteous judge, will give to me on that day, and not to me only, but also to all who have loved his appearing.
All right.
So that's our scripture for today.
And so what do you think of the raised bed so far? You know, this is we had one little one up there, planted some cucumbers in, but we didn't plant a lot in.
We didn't do like we've done here, and I really like it. I think we're gonna love it. Like, one thing I know for a fact that I'm gonna love is coming out here and picking a tomato, or picking the stuff I need to, like the parsley and stuff that I put in there. Like, instead of using the dried stuff that you buy at the grocery store, like having something fresh to put in whatever I'm cooking. And I do use those things a lot in what I'm cooking, like the parsley and the oregano. You know, I use that to flavor the meats and spaghetti and whatever. So I'm really, really looking forward to doing that.
I wish we had a few more out here.
I know, we need a few more. So it takes time. And now, one thing I think that you decided that you probably want to build some. Like, you don't want the metal ones. So we're probably going to do some wood ones, maybe some concrete or
for
blocks
right now,
or
since
something.
we do have the wood on hand, I'm gonna make some wood ones. I'm gonna scorch the sides with the torch.
And one good thing, you know, when you were building these and trying to put the dirt, which you can't shovel dirt in those raised garden beds. You gotta like dump it or something. And so he went and scooped some good rich dirt that we had, you know, up here, and just dumped it in the garden beds. And I think that was a lot. Like, you had to, especially for the 3 foot tall one, it's a lot of dirt in those.
Yeah, Joe said that raised beds make leafy greens and root crops a lot easier to work with. I can see that
already. So we're excited about it. So we, let's see, what else did we put in here?
Now, also, when we started, we put topsoil and mixed it in with the manure and compost.
Yeah.
But before we did it, I got the weed eater, and it's got a little tiller attachment thing that's about that wide. It's perfect for these. And I broke up all the soil that was under it, loosened it up. And then we put the compost and the topsoil in it and kind of blended it in. And I put some just very light fertilizer in it. So but they're looking good.
It didn't freeze, did it? It may just be my phone.
It doesn't look like it froze.
Okay.
I don't think it is.
Okay, good.
Hopefully it didn't.
All right.
So, but yeah, that's where we are. And I'm loving the raised beds, and you know, there's a lot of advantage to them. Like, you know, you can control the soil, what's in it better, and they drain well. You know, if you get a lot of rain, they'll drain well. You know, I think the soil warms up faster in the spring too.
You know, that's true, because especially I think in the metal ones, I think the soil will be really warm, you know, down in there for them especially.
Hopefully it's not too warm.
I hope not. I don't think it will be. I mean, I feel like part of this is kind of shaded, you know, especially in the afternoon, and I feel like, you know, it does need a little bit of shade, and I mean, it gets plenty of sun.
I guess when the sun moves over there, it's a little shady. But
it is.
Yeah, it gets a lot of sun during the day.
Yeah, it does. So we'll see how they do. I think it'll be okay. It gets really hot here, though, in the summertime. I mean, 90s and above sometimes.
Well, it's usually above.
Yeah.
During the
So it'll be okay. We'll just see how they do. I feel like if we had the wood ones, it might be a little bit better, you know, but
I've got some wood over there. After we get the big garden planted, I'm going to probably go ahead and build some and maybe put some stuff in.
Yeah.
And, you know, some of the crops that are later.
And we
have a long growing season here anyway. It's on 8, so it's, you know, we'll slowly add on. But
Yeah.
I think eventually we'll have mostly that. But
Yeah,
you can
except
fit
for
so much in it.
you can like I was like, "Are you sure that we can fit all this?" And he's like, "Yeah, look, we can." And kind of looked it up and stuff. So we put like tomato plants, we put
Yeah.
peppers. I put my my seasoning stuff in there, my parsley and all of that.
Yeah.
And what else did we put in there? Something.
Oh, you've got the peppers. Did you say
Yes,
that?
I said the peppers, but we put some lettuce in there, and there's a couple of cabbages that we put in
Yeah.
there. We're just going to see about the cabbage. We hadn't had very good luck with
I
cabbage.
thought we did. Did we not?
I don't. It
The
didn't.
lettuce we did.
Yeah, the lettuce we did. I think we did cabbage one year, but it was in the.
Because it's nothing better than coming out here and they've been loud all morning.
Well, yeah, they're
I don't know
having a
what's-
fit.
Nothing better than having some fresh lettuce.
Yeah, that's what
washing
he
it off,
likes.
making a salad.
He loves the fresh lettuce, and I'll pick it, and he wants me to wash it and kind of put it in the refrigerator. It kind of crisp it up
Yeah.
some, and then have a good salad. And I'm looking forward to that too. Like everything in this raised garden bed, I'm going to be able to put in a salad.
Yeah.
So I'm really excited about that.
And I don't think we were the only ones that were in the mood for planting. We went to the co-op, and we noticed the parking lot was as full
Oh
as
my
it's
goodness.
usually
It was like-
a lot of people there on Saturdays, but it was as full as we've ever seen it. And the person working there said that was
Yes.
the busiest day she'd ever seen.
It was, and they had plants, they had tomatoes, they had anything you could imagine. Of course, they
Yeah.
sell the seeds there at the co-op, and that co-op is really nice. I mean, they have clothes and fishing stuff
Yeah.
and hunting stuff. They sell nice boots and anything like that, and just a really, really neat co-op. Now, we have seen that co-op sell chickens, but I didn't see any yesterday, but we didn't
I'm
really
glad
look.
No, we didn't. I don't think they probably had some because we
They
didn't
probably
walk
did.
back in the place.
No, we
I
didn't walk back
purposely
in the
steered
back.
you towards that place,
Yeah.
away from there. So you
Yeah,
wouldn't get
I
any
guess you did.
chickens.
So
But they usually have chickens.
yeah, they have chickens and just a variety.
But
usually.
I was just shocked with how many people were there. I mean,
You couldn't even move in there. It was like going to Walmart or
Yeah.
something. It was crazy. We finally. Did we have to get it? No, we didn't even get a buggy. We just got our seeds, and
We didn't get a lot of actually plants.
no, we didn't. We got mostly
did we
seeds.
get any plants? We didn't. No,
No,
not
we
from
didn't
there,
get no, we didn't get any plants, and so we did get some onions, and so I got some carrot seeds, and we're gonna try them. We've never grown carrots, so we're gonna put those over here in the bigger raised garden bed. We're gonna put some carrots, and we're gonna put onions in there, and probably a couple more tomatoes.
Yeah.
In the other one. We'll see how they do. Kind of excited about the carrots because we've never done that before.
No, I haven't.
Yeah, so we'll see if they grow or if they do anything. And you aren't really a fan of carrots. I mean, you'll eat them if they're
I'll eat
cooked.
them,
But me and my son, we love carrots. I'll eat them raw. I'll eat them cooked. They're really good to me.
they're a healthy treat for the dogs too.
They are. They're a really healthy treat for the dogs. So. And she eats them. Some dogs won't eat them, but she does. Our dog, or our daughter's dog, eats the carrots, and she likes them. So in the summertime, a lot I feed her carrots anyway. Just as a treat. So she'll eat those. So excited
Yeah.
about that. Now we did see. We went to Tractor Supply. They had some trees and. There was an apple tree, but it was very expensive.
What was it? $40?
I think it was $40 for the apple tree,
Yeah.
and so we didn't get it, but we thought about it. And what else did we? I think we saw a peach tree somewhere. There was just a small peach tree inside, and kind of looked at it too, but wasn't real sure about getting that. I think we do need another peach tree.
Yeah.
Eventually.
But we're gonna have to put them in different places. So I think
Yeah.
maybe down in here.
Yeah, towards the pond maybe. But the only thing about that is I know the raccoons we put it way down there, they're going to be after it. They're going to eat the peaches and apples or
We
whatever.
may need to put electric fence around.
Yeah.
So they can't get in.
Maybe so. They won't like that at all.
Because deer come up this far too.
Yeah,
sometimes.
we have had a deer come up, this close to the house.
Yeah.
So we'd have to do something about that. But we did look at, the trees and think about getting those. The only thing, we had to pull up our apple tree because it produced apples and then it died last year. And so we're wanting to get another apple tree, but apple trees just take a little longer than the peach tree does to establish. So I don't know. We'll see. But I do like apples. I would love to get an apple tree and see if we can get it going and grow some good apples.
Yeah.
So
yeah, we do need to get those trees planted because we've got a lot of something's falling from
it's
these trees.
the stuff from the pine trees. Pollen stuff, I guess.
Is that pollen?
I don't know.
That don't look like.
I don't know what that is. It's something.
So yeah, we're really looking forward to that. The next thing we're going to do in the garden is plant the corn. We're going to get it planted out there. So I might tackle that tomorrow. I don't know if I'm going to tackle it today.
Yeah, you tired today.
Yeah, but because the garden out there, it's a piece. It's about roughly 100 foot by 100 foot.
Yeah.
Maybe somewhat, or
So
maybe
you
80 by 100.
And we did get it broken up, and we've discussed planting the corn in there. And you were saying that into April, it looks like there may be a day or a night or something when it goes down to 40. So we may wait another week. We were kind of talking about that, but we may wait.
Of course, I can't pull it up right now on my phone, but it was. I don't know if it went all the way down to 40 or if but the year we planted the corn kind of early, still in the cooler ground, is the best year it did.
It was.
The stalks were a little shorter, and it seemed like they were healthier or something.
Yeah, I think so too. They were healthier, and it wasn't quite as many bugs and worms. One thing about corn.
Yeah, corn doesn't like cold weather. We started it right at the edge of when the corn was coming. I mean, it's when the cold weather was coming out, but we may wait. We can wait a week or two on that. I want to make sure it doesn't hit. If it hits down that low, I don't think the corn's going to like that. But
yeah, so my phone has decided to lock up.
Where are you connected to?
The greenhouse. So I don't know. So I was trying to make sure Joe hadn't sent another chat.
So I am going to set those other tomatoes out up there, do a row for that, and go ahead. Put some soil around that fence. I've got to go and burn the weeds on that fence.
Didn't you buy something to burn the weeds, or you never did? Okay, so we have a metal fence going down the big garden, and he puts the cucumbers down that metal fence, so the cucumbers can kind of climb it. A lot of people will have sticks or something like that, in there. And we found that it did okay. It did pretty good to have that. It's just the problem is, unless you want to pull that whole metal fence up, you can't really plow it. So you have to, we've seen several people do this. So he takes like a torch thing.
Yeah.
And you burn the weeds on the fence, and then you kind of have to I guess, dig it more by hand, or you can do that little handheld thing there.
Yeah. I'll do that.
Yeah, and do it up. So then we'll plant cucumbers by it, and they'll grow up that fence and be easy to pick and look at. And then yesterday, what other seeds did we get? I know we got. We talked about the butter beans.
We got the squash.
Yeah.
Butter beans.
And we got the purple whole peas. And I think you got some watermelon seeds, so we're going to see about that, which, you've said several times about your watermelons.
I want to grow watermelons in these planters. Joe said, what do you use for tomato support? Now, out in the big garden, I've got the I think it's 5 foot tall. I bought a roll of the mesh that goes in concrete and made tomato cages, about that wide, and I think it's 5 feet tall.
Yeah.
And I'll put those over them in the garden. I've got probably 40 of those. Out here, we're gonna put, I'm gonna try, we've got a lot of bamboo that's real. I'm gonna just put sticks here and see if I can tie those up here.
Yeah, for bamboo.
To kind of save on space. Originally, I was gonna put some cages here, but I'm gonna try the
sticks.
Some sticks for support here.
Yeah, and it'll be the cane poles, and they're kind of thick. We have a whole patch of cane poles, and our friend wants a whole bunch of them
for his butter beans.
Yeah,
he's gonna do pole butter beans.
Okay.
Joe said I've done the same thing with remesh cages. Yeah, they work really good. So that's what we're going to do out there.
And they're actually a lot better than, you can go buy tomato cages.
Yeah.
But sometimes those tomato cages...
Those tomato cages are never tall enough.
No, that's that's right. They're not tall enough.
Yeah.
And unless you spend money and buy some really, really good ones, they're just kind of flimsy. And they don't... I mean, you could put them on there.
I think, for my sister, the plant that she's got, she needs one of those smaller ones.
Yeah, she does. She'll be okay.
Yeah, over here we're gonna do the bamboo sticks, and they're pretty thick. But and we've got tons of bamboo over there. But yeah, in the big garden we're gonna put. I like those cages, the homemade ones.
Yeah,
they
work better.
Work pretty good.
Yeah.
But yeah, I bought a whole roll of that, and just one day just made all those, and it turned out pretty good. So that's
so Joe says it's the first year growing butter beans this year, and I got the 16-foot cattle panels. Going to make an arch trellis with those for the butter beans. Okay.
Yeah, I would like to do, because we did on the butter beans.
We've tried it.
And we're not doing it right, because my grandfather, that's all he did was whole butter beans, but I don't like putting all the poles up. Now, my friend, he wants 90 poles, so he's going to put 90 of them up.
Is that what is just for the butter beans?
He's doing the pole butter beans.
Okay.
He's been doing the bush butter beans, but that's like putting a cattle panel up. I like that idea.
Yeah.
Especially like in the raised beds, that would be,
Yeah.
And then eventually I'd like to get most of it in the raised beds and not as much in the big garden.
Yeah. So
I'm not putting a bunch of poles for anything. I agree. We did. That's why I'm using the panels. I totally agree, because was it last? No, it wasn't last time, but one time we put
poles up.
This thing, so it's just, to me, it's annoying.
And I don't know, it was kind of hard to make them go down in the ground correctly, I guess, and make them stand up. You almost had to.
I'm sorry.
What did you do?
Messed up the camera. I'm having to adjust because we're shooting into the sun when it's up. So
I seen that.
Sorry.
It's probably delayed. He made it real bright.
So I'm having to manually adjust here. So trying to make it so it's
okay. Anyway, so we're looking forward to that, though.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to using the seed planter and planting the corn with the seed planter and the butter beans. Now we're doing the bush butter beans because the times that we did the pole butter beans, I think we tried them a couple of times.
They didn't do as good for us.
No, they didn't. But when we did the bush ones, they were awesome. Now it is a pain picking them because they're low.
Well,
but
you think about the bush butter beans, and one of these would be.
You know what? It might do okay if we did that.
You could fit a lot of them in something that size.
Yeah. Now that's a good idea. Maybe we could.
I don't think we'll do it this year, but
maybe try it next year or something.
I mean, 2 of these full of butter beans would be pretty good.
Now you've got a good idea there. And the butter beans, the bush butter, I don't even remember what kind we planted, but they did good. And they tasted good. Now, down here in Mississippi and the South, people eat a lot of field peas. They eat a lot of purple hull peas.
Yeah.
And so to
Do
me,
y'all do purple hull peas up there?
yeah. What kind
Joe?
of peas do y'all do?
He did say he's doing bush variety and Christmas pole variety.
Okay. So I personally like the taste of a butter bean better than I do the field peas. Now, I love the field peas sometimes, but I'd much rather have a butter bean than I would a field pea. To me, they just taste good.
Yeah.
A butter bean, or I'm a fan of our corn. Love
Yeah,
the
I
sweet
love the
corn.
corn.
Yeah, it's just delicious.
Yeah, we do the G90 corn. That's what we're planting,
Yeah.
and it does good here. It's of course a hybrid, but it's done real good. So
For peas, I have Green Arrow, Lincoln's, Early 13, Wando, and Burpina. We did get some English peas.
yeah, we did.
We bought some English peas.
And I've never known of anybody growing English peas around here.
My grandma used to grow English peas, and she loved the English peas.
Yeah.
But I think we got to plant those early because they do better earlier.
Okay.
So we might need to get those planted. I read kind of up on that about the English peas. They like the cooler weather a little bit better than.
Are we too late to plant them?
Maybe not. I don't think so. But we probably need to plant them, this week or at least by next week.
Well, maybe that's the first thing we need to plant.
Yeah.
Because I do want to make sure that if there's going to be that cold snap that we don't that the corn's not in the ground if it's going to get down to that low.
Yeah.
So I'm going to keep an eye on that. But
it's cold right now. The wind is blowing.
it's gotten cloudy.
Yes, it's clouding up. It's not supposed to rain though.
The forecast wasn't supposed to rain till Wednesday. Last time I looked at it. But it was a pretty sunrise, and don't you love the sunrises?
Yes, I love the sunrises, and now it's turned cool, and clouds have popped up all of a sudden in the, 20?
Oh, he said all of those are English pea varieties. First year doing peas.
So trying several varieties.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're going to try the English peas and see what happens, and we'll try those in the big garden, so we'll see what they do.
Yeah.
That would be neat if we had English peas.
Yes.
We like English peas. Butter beans probably my favorite.
Yeah, it is. Now your dad, he likes the peas, the black-eyed peas. Well, they're not.
Now
They're purple
he also
peas.
likes okra. I didn't get any okra because we don't eat a lot. Now sometimes you can chop it up and put it in soup.
Yeah, but we don't eat a lot of okra. They'll eat fried okra, but I'm not a fan
And
of
honestly,
okra.
we're trying to get away from anything fried,
Yeah.
except maybe catfish. But to me, if you fry the okra, it's like, what's the point?
Yeah. Now I got the air fryer. I did get a toaster oven that has the built-in air fryer.
Yeah.
And so, I put chicken in there, and he's like, well, it's not the same as fried chicken. I'm like, no, but to me, tastes juicier than just regular.
It did taste juicier.
It did taste juicier than like the just baking it in the oven. And I think it's because the air flows all around it when it's cooking, and it cooks it faster.
Yeah.
And I think the faster you cook your meat, it stays juicy, like it don't have time to dry out. And that's one thing about the air fryer that's great. It doesn't, just dry out like it does when you bake it. So, that's my thought on that. But I did enjoy the chicken. I thought it
was good.
Put some, all kinds of stuff on it, like I'm saying, the parsley and the seasoning salt and all of that, and dipped it in that real good. And you do have to put just a little bit of oil on there. You just put you just kind of rub it with a little oil, but it was pretty good, I thought.
Talking about okra, Joe said he grew okra one year and had bad swarms of stink bugs.
Oh.
Don't know if it was just a bad year or if the okra attracted them. That's interesting.
That is interesting. Because stink bugs
Daddy
are bad.
He grows okra sometimes, but I I don't think we're going to grow it unless he plants some.
Yeah.
So he'll come up here and plant.
Yeah, we have to. He has to do a row for his dad. Like he'll do a whole row of whatever he wants to plant, and he'll plant what he wants to in that row.
And the squash is another good thing we like.
I love the squash. It's going to be
it grows
awesome.
real good up here.
And if we can get the onions to grow, that'll be really good.
Yeah.
Mixed in with that squash, and we got some zucchini.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
I'm a big fan of the raised beds. I wish I had more this year, but I think we'll shoot for next year to have.
Now, what I would like to do is try Joe's zucchini bread that he said that he fixes. Yeah. Whenever we get the zucchini, I would love to try the bread, the zucchini bread. I think that sounds good.
Yeah.
So I want to try that.
Yeah.
So do you want to get ready and
so
plant this tomato?
All right, let me.
You may have to stand up to do it.
Yeah. I got to get everything adjusted here.
Okay. My glasses are fogging up. So again, he's gonna plant this for his sister, and we're Covington, Louisiana, and that's where it's going. So it's fun to know that something that you started from a seed is going all the way to Covington to grow some tomatoes for somebody else. That's fun to me.
That's right. So
you have stuff in it?
Now that she neat. She didn't put a hole in it. They're gonna have to put a hole.
It's got a hole.
That ain't big enough. I'm gonna tell her to put a little drain hole in there.
Okay.
Or I'll drill one before we send it. So
okay.
Let me put my gloves on to.
Okay.
Where do I put my gloves? My heavy duty gloves here.
Those are like huge gloves. Where did you get those?
They're what I used to like change oil in stuff.
So you, I don't know if you're even going to be able to function with those gloves.
I didn't have my.
That's funny.
Ooh. I can't open it with my gloves now.
Well, I told you. All right, there we go. Is that good?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, you hold this and let me get I forgot my shovel. I got everything with it. I was pretty prepared, but.
Okay. Well, you need to be better prepared, and I don't know about those gloves. Did y'all see those gloves? They're like orange and big and funny.
Well, they're so you can like change oil and stuff.
Well, yeah, but you don't normally use those type of gloves to plant your tomato
They're
plant.
all I had, and I didn't want to. Keep the chat.
I am keeping the chat up.
The tomatoes really looked good. And another thing I noticed, these big pots sure helped on the tomatoes. That's the first year that I've used that big a pot.
And I think they grow better. Like you think so too, like they're healthier and they grew quicker in these pots. Once you moved them, from the little, because it hadn't been long. These have really like popped up.
And I've been doing them in these little cups.
Yeah. So you need to cut this little sap sucker here. This one's gotten too big. You don't have any, we'll cut it off in a little bit. Okay. One thing I know, I don't know a whole lot, but as I grew up, my grandpa did teach me some things, and you have these little things that he always called them sap suckers that grow out of between the main branch and the stem of your tomato. And my grandpa always taught me that you snap those off, because he said that when those grow out, they usually don't grow a tomato correctly, and they pull the nutrients out of the rest of the plant. So he taught me to always snap those off.
And some people do and some people don't.
Yeah, I don't know, but that's what he said. That's not what he always taught me.
Yeah.
And then Joe said, yeah, they grow quick once you put them in those pots.
Yeah.
So Joe, do you cut those off, the what he called the sapsuckers? I don't know what the real official name is. Do you snap those off on your tomatoes? I mean, I'd love to know that. But I remember that from growing up. He said, you've got to snap these off. So, I'd love to know what other people have done about those, or have you ever heard of that? So, anyway.
All right, here's just some good scissors too.
Okay, I'm gonna snip it off.
There's another one right here.
You see another one? Oh, on the other side?
Yeah.
Okay. And I didn't check the other tomatoes we planted yesterday for those. I didn't even think about it. Smells, I like to smell the tomatoes. Like they have just a neat smell to me. My phone froze again.
All right, let's see.
You have water?
Yeah, I got some water right down here.
You might better be careful, it may run through that hole on the bottom.
Ooh, put too much dirt in the pot, right?
I don't know what he's doing. So Joe says he cuts. Okay, so this is what Joe says. He says what you should is cut the suckers off on some of your plants and leave them on some other ones. See which one does best. And he said he cuts the lower ones off along the lower limbs as well, just to keep them out of the dirt. Usually,
that's what I do.
Yeah,
too.
That's what he does too. And he doesn't mess with the ones higher up on the plant. So what are you doing here? You put too much dirt?
Yeah, I got to get it a little deep.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what I do. Put them in the...
You're making a mess.
Yes, I am.
A huge
Alright.
mess.
Well, the only reason I'm using these gloves is so when I touch the laptop on the stream there.
Yeah, it won't mess up.
Yeah. So,
Okay, well that looks good. And then she may need to have to transplant it, but maybe if she puts a tomato cage over the top of it, a smaller one, it'll do okay.
now, I like to put them in 5-gallon buckets, but she lives in a real bougie neighborhood, and I don't know if she'll put a 5-gallon bucket outside her house. Like that says Tractor Supply or Lowe's.
Yeah.
I don't know, she might, but... What I'll do, I'm going to drill a hole down in the bottom to a better, that one's got a little hole, but it needs to have some good drainage.
Okay.
Look at that. All right, cherry tomato. Oh, that wasn't the one I wanted, but it's got some new growth on it.
I know. The wind is carrying things off. Yeah, I don't think it's supposed to rain today, but I don't know.
And I will, it's got a little moisture.
Yeah.
Over. So there we go.
Okay. So we made a big mess with all of this.
Did I make a mess?
You made a huge mess.
Oh, and it's right there where you're sitting.
Yeah, it's okay. A little dirt never hurt anybody.
It's gardening day. It's supposed to be dirt.
I know. So, You know, when I was little, I did play in the dirt, like constantly played in the garden in the dirt. Made those frog holes.
Yeah.
Did you make frog holes?
Yeah.
And you did capture some frogs in those little frog holes. I'm sure Joe's grandchildren probably make those frog holes and stuff in his garden too.
Do grandkids do that now?
I don't know, but
We're gonna
our
teach
grandkid,
ours,
yeah, our grandkid's gonna dig holes in the garden and make a little frog house, for the frogs to get in.
You gonna teach to be a country girl?
Yes, she will be a country girl.
Yeah.
And yesterday when we went to the co-op, they had a cute little outfit. It had chickens on it. So I really was very tempted to go ahead and buy that, but I didn't.
It's not time to buy clothes yet.
So, well, she'll probably get tons. They'll have.
I mean, like I said, you don't know what size she
Scott,
wears yet.
kid, you don't know nothing. The babies wear whatever month they are, like a 0 to 3 months or a 6 to 9 months. That's what they wear, or a 12 month.
You don't need to overload her with clothes.
Well, I feel like they're going to get plenty of clothes whenever she's.
Yeah, and I noticed they're starting to, they live right here next to us, like we've said, but I've noticed they put a mattress in my shop.
Yeah, they're cleaning out the nursery. And
did they ask you before they did that?
No, they didn't ask me that.
They didn't ask me either.
Yeah, so they.
Yeah, I just cleaned it out, so to get my stuff in there.
Yeah, well, I'm sorry.
But yeah, so anyway, that's what we've got going on garden wise.
So I was just looking at our notes that we've got on the raised garden bed. Oh, one thing I was going to ask you, are you going to put any like mulch like around the stuff in here? Like I read where some people do, like straw or some kind of mulch
but,
or something like that around it. What do you think about that? Like
I don't know. We're going to see how it goes, but and also at some point we want to pump some water out from the pond down here to give to be able to water it. I mean, we got a water hose that can come down here, but I would love to pump from the pond and give it some real water down there. But we're getting there.
Yeah.
Slowly
but surely, we're going to get there.
And hard to believe all of this right here was just a wooded area. You couldn't, you actually couldn't, when we first moved up here, you couldn't see the pond.
No, like back here, I don't know if y'all can see back here in the back, but the pond is right back there. And all of this where we're sitting here, it was nothing but wood. So we have accomplished a lot in the 6 years that we've been, moved back up here.
Right.
I feel like.
Yeah, we have. When I looked at pictures of what it was.
I mean, even up towards the front where your shop is and all of that, like all of that still had a fence up and around the trees. There's actually a fence grown into one of the trees up there because my grandpa had cows and he had all of that fenced in. And just to know that we've cleared all of that and gotten all that cleaned up, we have done a ton of work.
Because right here where we're sitting was a real thick wooded area.
It was.
And we did all of that with just a chainsaw and...
Yeah, most of it, we didn't have the tractor yet whenever we did that.
Yeah.
So it was a lot of work.
We did it by hand.
Yeah. So
we're getting too old to do that much by hand now. But
but
I don't know, but that wasn't but 5 years.
5 or 6 years ago.
In a span of 5 years, but we clean out a little.
Oh, Joe, Super Trainer says that our main camera is froze again.
Okay.
In the chicken coop, so. Probably because we've been unplugging and plugging up stuff over there yesterday.
Yeah.
It seems to always get messed up on Saturdays because we're doing things over there. So we apologize. We'll get it fixed when we get off of the stream today. Yeah. The chickens are doing good though. They're up on their little roosting bar over there, looking out at us, trying to see what we're doing. We got our visitors from the free range group over here.
The chickens were real excited this morning. They were very very active.
If y'all were on here yesterday, we had a hen that was trying to lay an egg while I was cleaning up yesterday. So she finally laid that egg, and she must have had a hard time. It was a huge egg, and I think it's a double yolk. I'm gonna have to break it and see. But she finally laid her egg, and it is the biggest egg like ever.
Yeah.
It's huge. So I think she was having some issues doing her egg yesterday.
Okay.
So that's what her problem was. But I did go get it, and it's just a huge, huge egg. So, sometimes that happens. They just have a big egg. They're cutting up again over there. I don't know if y'all can hear them.
One of them gets excited, and then the rest of them just goes crazy. It's so funny out there. But, those chickens are something else.
Yes, they are.
Yeah, I don't know why that camera freezes. It's like it freezes while we're out here. But
it freezes, I think, because we mess with the cords and stuff when we're cleaning and doing stuff over there. I think it just kind of gets messed up or something. Or I'm in there moving around the mulch. I mean, not the mulch, the pine shavings that are in the bottom. So I may have kicked a wire or something yesterday when I was doing that. So that may be what the problem is.
So are you going to do any gardening today?
No, I'm not doing any gardening today. I'm going. So we have a friend that's also having a baby soon. So me and my daughter-in-law are going shopping. So they're having a baby shower. So we have to go shopping and get the baby something. And, of course, we may get our grandchild something too. Not that she's born yet, but, we can't leave her out. So we're probably going to do a little bit of shopping today.
I tell you, the clouds up here, it looks dark up here.
It does look dark, but I didn't think it was going to rain.
I don't think it's supposed to rain. Sun's coming back out now. So,
yeah, there it comes.
But I hope it doesn't rain.
I hope it doesn't either. It's just like some clouds moving through.
Yeah, so... But that's where we are on the gardening. So you got anything else to add?
Well, I guess not. That was the main thing I wanted to ask you. I wondered about the mulch and stuff that you were gonna put in here. And can we take one of the cameras and kind of look or not?
No, they won't move.
Oh, okay. We'll show y'all maybe next week.
Yeah, I thought about that after I set this up, but we'll have to. We'll get it so we can move it next time. So.
And we'll have a video coming out soon about planting and doing in the raised garden bed. So we'll have that maybe coming up in the next week, so y'all can kind of see what we planted in there if y'all want to watch it. So
it was actually fun.
It really was fun.
It's not. I mean, it's the big thing I like is it's not that bending over to the ground.
Right,
stuff,
like planting the seeds all the way on the ground.
Yeah.
Now I do think we probably need a little stool or something to kind of sit on when we're kind of working in it, when it gets to the point where we need to do weeds and stuff.
Yeah.
Because it's kind of, you got to bend over. So I thought about that.
It's going to be a lot easier, I think.
It will be a lot easier, but you're still going to have to weed it. So, I thought about that. We may want a little stool or something to sit on to go around it when we start having weeds in there to pick them out. And, one thing I told you, I said, I hope you don't think that it's weeds coming up when my herbs come up.
Joe said not bending over is the main reason that he's been transitioning to raised beds.
Yeah.
And that's what everybody has told me. So, we're in the transition. It may take us a few years to get everything moved over, but we're gonna do it. We've got a good area right here.
Yeah, we do.
We're just gonna slowly start building the raised beds, and I have decided I want it either wood or concrete.
Yeah.
Because for us. But like if somebody were in, a subdivision or something needed one, this metal one wouldn't be too bad.
Yeah, I think this metal one right here.
You can put it together, but
I mean, that's all that stuff that we fit in there. If you live in a suburb or something and you want to just grow some vegetables to have during the summer and through the growing season, that would feed a family.
Yeah.
For just that, just that one. So to me, I think it's I think is awesome.
Joe said it's taken me a few years. I'm still adding another 1 or 2 every year.
Yeah.
And that's what we're going to do. We'll probably do, 2 or so every year.
And we'll probably always put, like the field peas and the corn in the big garden. It's just not practical to put that much corn and peas in a raised garden bed.
And the potatoes, we
yeah,
have
the potatoes.
two
Were they
rows
coming up?
There was one that came up. We have 2 rows of potatoes. They're roughly around 100 feet each. But I'm hoping when we dig them that we can get that middle buster, put it deep enough and pull it up without tearing up the potatoes.
Yeah, so
I don't want to get a shovel.
I want to look at them again and see if there's any coming up.
I noticed one coming up when I was
When was that?
That was a couple of days ago.
Okay, so surely.
I got in there and did the disc over the garden again.
Joe's going to be making the soil for the grow bags for potatoes today.
I can't wait to see how that does. That's
gonna be neat. I would like to know how that turns out.
Yeah, and those, like if you're watching on the replay and you're thinking about starting a garden and you don't have a lot of land, those bags would be something to do with potatoes.
That'd be great.
There's all kinds of ways to do it if you.
And I really wish we would have saved those bags that we had for the
gravel.
The gravel, so we could do that. If we ever get any more gravel or whatever with those bags, we need to make sure that we save them.
Yeah, those would have been pretty good too.
Yeah, they would have.
They're big and you can put a lot into that.
Right.
And also we've started the compost pile over here.
Which you kind of need to build a little something to start the and I don't think it needs to just be on the ground. It needs a something.
Well, for right now, it's just on the ground.
Well,
I mean, I know my grandfather had a little frame around his.
Yeah, because I feel like when it rains, it's going to wash if we don't put something around it. Well, okay.
It'll be fine. Well,
I was trying to give you more work to do.
Yeah, well,
like you need another project.
Why don't you do it? But yeah, we got that done. So hopefully, because I want to have enough compost so we don't have to go buy all that stuff.
Yeah.
And like I talked about I think I talked about this. There's somebody with the cows down the road.
Yes.
I don't know what they're.
I saw
depends on what they're feeding the cows, but I would like to go.
I saw them yesterday, and I thought about that. They had a trailer doing something, and when I passed by, or I had to stop because they had the trailer in the road, and I came this close to stop rolling my window down and saying, hey, would y'all care if we got some, manure from your cows? But I didn't. I was kind of like, I don't know. They may think I'm crazy, if I just randomly asked them that. So.
Easier to turn with the tractor if it's just on the ground. Yeah. I think we can do, because I did that last time with the potatoes, but I didn't have that middle buster, and I think it'll be.
We were really pleased. Every time we planted potatoes, they've done pretty well. I think there was only one year they didn't do good or something.
It's just that the last few years I had to dig the trench with the shovel.
I guess so.
And this year I didn't, and I was glad about that because I'm getting too old to dig 200-foot trench with the shovel.
Okay.
Yeah. All right. Well, we're going to wrap it up. Well, Joe, thanks for joining us. Thanks for chatting with us, and thank you everybody for watching on the replay. And if you're into gardening, hope it turns out for you. Just get out there and try it.
That's all you can do.
So
thank you for watching.
Yeah. Thank you for watching. Have a great day.